Hey, it's me. I'm back with my lazy ass. How are you? I'm going to show you how to make a button-up skirt the lazy way from a men's shirt. The first step is to remove the pocket. Try to get a shirt without a pocket or choose a darker color shirt so that these holes are less visible. Cut both sleeves off. Now you can decide how long you want the skirt to be. The lower you go, the more fabric you are able to gather. Once you have decided the perfect length, you can draw a guideline where you can cut a straight line. Pin the front and back together to prevent the shirt from shifting. Make a new side seam, then cut the excess off. And think about the seam allowance, by the way. Also make sure that you draw the side seam less curvy than I did here and also more towards the hem. Next up, fold the shirt in half and duplicate the other half. Sew the new side seams with a straight stitch, and right after you can overlock the sides with a serger. Cut the sleeve open for the waistband. If you are lucky, you can cut the waistband in one piece, otherwise divide it in 3 pieces like I did. That includes the seam allowance and also the width of the collar closure, which I forgot to do, by the way. Now I can only wear this skirt if I don't eat for the whole day. So don't be a slowpoke like me and make sure that you add the collar closure as well. Use interfacing to add stiffness to the waistband, which will give you a better finish, and it is also important for the buttonhole placement. If you use interfacing with glue, iron the interfacing on the wrong side of the sleeve, cut out the pieces like so, then sew down together with the pretty sides hugging. All the stuff I'm using in the video will be in the description box. Okay, let's be serious. Okay, take the bottom half of the shirt and sew a basting stitch in the new waist. Now gather the waist until it matches the same length as the waistband. Try to match up the side seams, use pins if needed. If everything matches, sew the waistband on top of the waist with the pretty sides hugging. Fold the waistband in half like so and secure the sides with a straight stitch. Trim the sides, then you can poke out the corners with a pair of scissors or with something else, anything you have nearby. And it is also good to trim the seam allowance where you're going to add the button closure, which I forgot to do as well. This small part right here. Pin the waistband so that it stays in place when you sew. There are 2 options. One, you can top stitch the waistband, or 2, stitch in the ditch of the waistband. If you choose for option 2, make sure that you fold the waistband over the stitch. This stitch right here. To make the buttonhole, you will need this foot. The setup is different for each sewing machine, so read your manual like I did. But basically, you need to place the button right here. I think it's the same for all sewing machines. But again, read your manual. Before the real deal, practice. If you're done with practicing, mark the button placement and just go for it. Open the buttonhole with a seam ripper. You can add a pin on one end so that you don't go overboard. Now hand sew the button by hand or by sewing machine. leave a small mark for the button. I hand sewed the button while I was watching a series. The optional step is to add pockets to the skirt. Use the shirt pocket as template or use your own measurements. For the top edge of the pocket and top stitch, you can also iron if you want. Iron the outside edges of the pockets all the way around. Then pin the pockets onto the skirt, try it on and check if you like the placement. If you're happy, sew the pocket on the skirt close to the edges. Optional is to make the hem straight, so nobody will know that this skirt was a shirt before. Again, make sure that the sides are straight and not curvy like mine. If you're going to make this DIY, feel free to share a picture on Twitter or Instagram. If you have questions, leave it in the comment. I will try to upload another video next week, otherwise it will be somewhere in September. That's all I needed to say. Take care. Doei.